they work so well together. I feel like I've known her for a long time, even though, we're super far apart. But yeah, I have to go Winter.
Oh, you're making me feel guilty, Jason.
No.
Shit, I should have said that, actually.
Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today, we will be visiting the world of Remnant with 8 members of the cast of RWBY. So without further ado, let's bring them out. Our first guest, he is the voice of General James Ironwood. Please welcome back Jason Rose.
Hey, everyone. Good to see you again. Glad to be here.
Good to have you back, boss. How
you doing? It's great to be here finally.
Absolutely. How was your holidays?
Thankfully safe. Spent with a few people. We all had to, follow guidelines, and ultimately, I can't complain. It was great.
Just having no cause to complain is the new awesome in these interesting times. Absolutely. Well, absolutely glad to have you. Our next guest, she is the voice of the robotic Petty. Please welcome Taylor McNee.
Salutations. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's absolutely ours. How are you doing in your part of the world?
No complaints. We're doing really great here. Enjoying the snow, having a nice holiday season. Everything's great.
Indeed. And a lot of snow where you're located at, as you told us.
Plenty of snow.
Absolutely. Now, just because I've never seen this before, you have a cabinet behind you, and there's something interesting in that cabinet. I think our audience would probably like to see it.
All right. I was telling everybody backstage how I keep fish in this cabinet, not like a weirdo, not like a strange person who keeps fishing in her cabinets. So there's fish tanks back there, lots of little 5-gallon fish tanks where I have beta fish.
Very nice. And I know you're in sort of a semi-Arctic environment, so in case the Yeti breaks on in, he won't be immediately good to eat your fish.
Exactly.
Indeed. Taylor, welcome to GalaxyCon. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Our next guest, she is the voice of Wintershee. Please welcome back Elizabeth Maxwell. And the voice of everyone's favorite Uncle Crow, Bronwyn. Welcome back, Ernesto Jason Liebrecht.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, wait. Wrong character.
Salutations.
How are you kids doing?
Oh, we're doing excellent, man. How about you?
I'm holding the line. I celebrated my birthday, and I took an acrobatic ride in a biplane. That was fun.
Oh, very cool.
Congratulations.
You'll have to tell me more about that later.
Absolutely. Everything else. Well, it is funny because we finally got you here on a RWBY thing, and I remember we were eating at a Chinese restaurant together when you had just gotten the news and you wanted to tell everybody, but you couldn't. It's like, I just got this great gig, but I can't tell.
Yeah, I just kept shoveling the food in my face, so I'd shut up.
More or less. You were like the wontons there. So, Elizabeth, Jason, always a pleasure to see you. So glad to have you here, and glad the holidays have gone well for you. Yeah. And now let's bring in the title characters in their customary order. She is the voice of Ruby Rose. Please welcome back the always awesome Lindsay Jones.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
It's lovely to see the rest of the RWBY crew. I know we're about to introduce more people too. I just know they're here. So it's always really exciting. And I think this is the first time that I've done any kind of panel work with Taylor. So it's awesome. I'm stoked. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So, Lindsay, all is well in your corner of the world?
Oh, my Animal Crossing island is awesome. I love going there. It's plenty of resources, friends. It's great. It's where you can find me. I'll send you my friend code.
I look forward to that as always. Our next guest, she is the voice of Vaishni. Please welcome back Kara Everly.
Here she comes.
It's like a Schnee move. Making an entrance. Yeah.
Making us, make us wait.
Very dramatic.
Fashionably late.
If I know Kara, her cat has stepped on her laptop, so it's fine. Cat issues.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's all right, because we have plenty more. She is the voice of Blake Belladonna. Please welcome back Aaron Zach. Woo! Hey!
Hi, friends.
There she is.
Aaron, how are you doing?
I just cut my finger just now.
On what?
We're watching you for 1 minute. 1 minute.
I
You cut your-
No, I don't know on what, but I did. But I'm doing good otherwise.
Okay, all right. Well, if you need to get a Band-Aid or something, let us know. It's no problem. So.
We're good. I wear enough black that you can't see anything on me, so we're good. That's a weird thing to say.
And finally, she is the voice of Yang Xiaolong. Please welcome back Barbara Dunkelman.
Hey guys, I just got stabbed in the stomach 2 seconds ago. It's so weird.
Crazy.
Everyone's getting injured.
All this sharp wit running around. What happened?
People are getting stabbed and Kara's
Oh,
already
good.
found. What's going on?
The one with the
Yeah.
sword. How inconvenient.
Suspicious.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us here today. As always, we look forward to the day, and maybe this year the world will get a little bit back to normal. And once again, we can host you on our physical stages and absolutely get you all back in front of your fans. But in the meantime, we are here at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. And as always, absolute pleasure to have you all.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Awesome.
for having me.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I was it. So somebody's got to make it. Oh, you got the echo. That's all right. So Kara's having some difficulties. She'll just join us when she jumps on in. So why don't we go ahead and roll our first audience question? And this is going to come from Belle. And they would like to know, what is your favorite moment for your character so far? Who would like to start us off? Or I can call someone.
Should we develop an order pattern? And
Well, yeah, Barbara, it sounds like we'll start with you.
okay,
There you go.
volunteered. Favorite moment for my character so far. I think it was the conversation she had with Raven, if you could call it that, in the vault in season 5. I really like that moment as both like a plot point, but also just a moment of growth for Yang. So that's definitely up there for me.
Fair. Jason, Rose, how about you?
There's a lot of cool interaction that I think Ironwood has with the cast in sort of emotional ways as the seasons kind of progress. But I think just for cool factor, the Watts fight, I've got so much feedback on that. It's pure anime awesomeness. So yeah, I've seen that fight like 1,000 times. I love it.
So good.
Absolutely fair. Taylor, how about you?
I definitely think the more emotional scene between Penny and Pietro a few episodes ago, that was really sad. That's my
I
favorite one.
cried.
So far.
I cried at that scene.
I'm
too.
meaning
Oh
to
my
say
God.
I cried too. I cried a drop of a hat now, especially as being a parent, but like I wept at that moment. I was like,
Yeah. Your performance was incredible.
it was great.
So it's not like my favorite happy moment, or my favorite cool moment, but it's my favorite moment.
Fair, absolutely fair. And Aaron.
So there are a lot of moments with Blake that I really enjoy, but I think one really pivotal one for her specifically was after she burns her own house down, essentially. That's when she finally gathers herself as a leader and calls out to the White Fang and be like, you guys, this is insanity. We can't be doing what we're doing. We're turning ourselves against each other, and this isn't how we were supposed to be. And I think that I was very proud of her in that moment, because she's been running and hiding and being in the shadows, if you will, for so long, that she's finally stepped up to the plate. Yeah. And I was really proud of her for that. That was cheap.
Fair. Lindsay.
Ooh, that's such a cop-out answer, but it's true. You haven't seen it yet, but for ones that you have seen, I really like one that sticks out to me is after Volume 3, when chaos is happening in the Emmy Arena, and Ruby picks up Penny's weapon and says, "Leave her alone," talking about, Pyrrha. But it's just like, dang, for me, that was like tricky and challenging to convey all those emotions in 3 words, but it was a really meaningful moment. So yeah.
It's absolutely fair. Elizabeth.
If we're talking about like a single moment, when Weiss and Winter get reunited in Atlas, and Winter is kind of like scolding her, and Weiss basically cuts her off by just like running into her arms for a hug. That's a big one for me. But in general, I've really been enjoying Penny and Winter's like dynamic and interactions in the last volume or so. I like the lessons Winter learns from Penny.
Fair. How about you, Jason?
I would say the first one for me was everybody's talking about the emotional stuff mainly, but was the conversation with Ruby about Summer. That felt really, I don't know, sincere and legitimately emotional for me. And I like it when something feels that natural, that real. And there's another one, the scream upon the death of him feeling responsible for, that was Clover, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that was another one where I felt like it was very like, cathartic, like real. Anyway.
Yeah.
I was really confused because my dog's name is Clover and they're right there right now. And I was like, how did you know that was Clover?
All right. Oh, I just got the word that we think Kara's back. So let's roll the dice and see if we can get our lost lamb. All right.
Fashionably late.
Hey!
Hi! Me and my
Welcome.
technology. I'm on my phone right now. That was the last result. I'm going to throw this out the window.
We missed you.
But hi, guys. Happy New Year.
And to you as well.
Miss you guys.
Oh, we miss you too.
Miss you too, Kara. You look lovely.
You do.
It looks so glam. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask a question?
This is just my natural hair. I'm glad that it looks glamorous, though. So yay.
It's good. It's good.
Indeed.
Yeah, it looks
So,
nice as well. Sorry, what did I miss?
well, we just said hello. The question on the table is, what do you think was your favorite character moment?
I've said this before. It's definitely the shut up scene at the fundraiser when Weiss kind of finally snaps on her dad and just tells everyone to shut up. I love that.
Fair.
We all love a good shut up.
Indeed. Belle, thank you. Great question to start us off with. And let's roll another one. And this comes from Winter Chill. How do you get into character for recording? Any mannerisms, warm-ups, or rituals? And Jason Rose, start us off.
Carrie would laugh at this too, because there's a lot of back and forth before we can actually go in, lower certain cadence of the voice. And I mean, a lot of it's just this. I'm not gonna lie, but getting into, like, I guess, sound trite, but the mindset of each scene, because he is a lot of really serious stuff. He has to do a lot of fun, so you have to. I think Carrie and Miles and all these guys going through just kind of like describing what is so important, what is so critical for each moment, kind of brings you down into the moment really well. So
yeah, very good, very good. Taylor, how about you?
Oh, well, I bounce around and I get a little bit hyperactive like a lunatic, and I do all my voice warm-ups outside of the recording studio, kind of like a lunatic for the people walking by. And I get really animated and warmed up, and I move around a lot. And that's how I get into character.
So the opposite of me, basically.
Yeah, the exact opposite. I'm happy, and you go the other way.
Yeah.
Erin, how about you?
Well, for Blake, after having, I guess, played her, done her, been her, I don't know how to say that without sounding strange. I don't really do too much anymore. She's sort of become second nature. Back when she was really reserved and when we first started recording, I'd take off my shoes and I would make sure that the room was completely dark. I still like being in the dark for things. I don't know why. Darkness is just sort of my happy place. But for other characters, though, I don't know, for like Emily Gray, I hold my hand like Snow White sort of thing. And it's just small things here and there for every character, although I haven't done like a plethora of them, but it's nothing massive. It's just small things that just kind of ground you into the character.
Yeah, very good. And Lindsay.
It's fun listening to Taylor too, because I was like, that's exactly what I did for Ruby for a lot. And there's literally a video of it, of me outside the studio doing my warm-ups. And people used to like, I would use sirens to warm up, which I guess for people who don't know or watching, it's like, oh, and you get your upper register activated. So I would do that outside. And then it got to a point where people walking by would go, ow, back. And I was like, all right, like, okay. So your usual vocal warm-ups, I guess if you've done like choir or any work like that, clearly warm up. But as far as like physical mannerisms, I used to take off my shoes in the booth because Ruby was much more like, I guess, like innocent or childlike is the mode I was going for. And as a kid, I mean, that would be the first thing I would do is like break off those social barriers and just like be comfy and weird and whatever. But now recently, obviously Ruby's dealt with a lot of stuff, and Art's kind of imitated life a little bit in that sense. So I'm like, I feel you, Ruby. Like things are a little depressing right now. So less of that, but definitely more musical inspiration. I like listening to characters like theme songs. So Red Like Roses Part 2 has always been a go-to for me for Ruby. There's a lot of complexity in her emotions there, including all of the above that we just described. So yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Elizabeth, how are you?
Yeah, I'm super into vocal warm-ups as well, but for winter specifically, it's a lot of like posture stuff for me. I kind of like harken back to my ballet roots, and you know, I stiffen up and shoulders back and back really straight and chin held high, and so yeah, a lot of it's posture and how I kind of hold myself. And I've mentioned it on here before, but I've always been a big proponent of I come up with like a signature line or phrase for every character that kind of, it's either my favorite line of theirs or it's something that encompasses like their worldview. And I'll say that kind of before I record a couple of times, and it drops me kind of both into their voice, but also into their mindset.
Very good. Very good. How about you? Yeah, the half.
Well, you mean me, right, Patty?
Yes.
I lay off the sauce for like a week before I record, typically, since I'm the sober crow. And I used to, when we would go to the studio, I would basically just listen to heavy, like early Nirvana and scream it at the top of my lungs. Stuff from Bleach, stuff where he really fries his voice so I can kind of activate my gravel. And I actually got a lot of weird looks when I first started pulling into the parking lot outside of the studio and sitting there in my car doing that for, if I got there early, I'd do it for like 10 minutes and people walk by like, what the fuck is that? Oh, what the heck is that guy doing? I'm muting this. That's it. I'm muting it.
You got it.
Such a good
Kara, how about you?
I'd say now it's more of kind of like everybody else has kind of been saying, just piggybacking off of that. We've been doing it for a while now, I guess, and so I like to just get pumped up and really kind of get into it. I always watch like the most recent episode, the last one that I have seen prior to recording, even though I know it's not exactly the same. I just like to see the world again of Ruby and get excited and be in it. And then I also, like Elizabeth, I usually wear my sock booties, like heeled boots when I record. That way I can, kind of, try to be wise that way, a little bit of that. So, yeah, I think now it's gotten a little bit, like more routine, but definitely, I mean, you have to, you can't just jump in there, willy-nilly and do everything, so everyone has their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. And Barbara, bring us home.
Well, I go to the gym and I do some push-ups, I squat my regular 350 pounds.
Yep.
And then I run around the gym with my 2-minute mile. Just kidding.
2-minute mile? I thought it was a 1-minute mile, Barbara. Come on.
You said a 2-minute mile. Wow. That's gonna
I was
Very
in.
fast. If you're playing Yang, you gotta be just.
You gotta be fast. Quick on
You
your
are
feet.
whooping the U.S. Marine Corps. I mean, their standard 6 minutes. That's amazing.
Marine Corps, we're going full Olympics. Look at this.
Okay. Aim higher. Kind of similar to the other cast members. Like, we've been doing this for so many years at this point, for the most part, that it feels like you kind of just slip into character, winky face, and like you're pretty much good to go right when you get there. But I think like what I do for vocal warm-ups is when I'm driving to the studio to record, I just take a line, like some random phrase, and I just do it in every possible emotion I could think of, just to try to get in an actual acting space. Because especially like now with quarantine, you're just sitting at home, just hanging out most of the time. You're not really performing in that kind of way. So to get yourself in that mindset is take some time.
Very good. And Winter Chill, thank you. Great question for us. What do we have next? This one comes from Elizabeth. What's the one RWBY fan interaction that you've had that has meant a lot to you in a good way? And I know. Taylor, would you like to start us off?
No pressure.
Well, I get sweet messages.
No,
I don't think I've ever met anybody like in real life.
Soon, though.
Yet.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Yet.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
but I've gotten some really sweet messages, and I really appreciate those. That's my answer.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. Aaron, how about you?
One that sticks out to me the most was at Dragon Con, and I don't know if I can say another convention's name on this.
We're cool with them.
Okay, it was at Dragon
late.
Con. There was this little girl who was carrying all 4 of the RWBY plushes around like they were her like teddy bears, and it was I cried. I took a sneaky picture. It's just really astonishing to me that like we're these little girls and boys and non-binary babies, and they're stuffed animals. Like we're their comfort, and I don't know. That's always just stuck out in my mind. I'll never forget seeing this little girl just like viciously holding them, like so cute. But yeah,
That's very nice. Lindsay, what you got?
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint exactly one interaction because it's all been so overwhelming, and I never ever thought myself alone would be in a position where people want to watch content I make, let alone something like this. I'm sure everyone can relate to. So I guess a few that stick out to me are, like Aaron said, whenever we have children, I feel like that's awesome because I feel like I still very much am that kid watching content, even though I'm an adult. Like, you know, I'll watch like anime and go like, I want to be Deku. Like, you know, I'm still that person. So yeah, I think that's the coolest is when we get interaction from kids who look up to us, and yeah, it means a lot.
Very good. Very good. Elizabeth.
Gosh, I don't know if I can pinpoint just one, but I always get so touched by the fan art that I see that gets shared and posted online. Like I can't draw to save my life, and I have such a high regard for those who have a talent at it, and to like kind of know that somebody feels strongly enough about, you know, a show that you're in or a character that you are to put the time and effort into, you know, creating a beautiful work of art. Just, it always makes me really, really happy.
Indeed. And Jason.
There's a kid that I met at MCM London. Actually, every time I've met him, I think it's been at MCM London. Run into him a couple of times, and every time he's cosplaying as one of my characters. But he's very much into Crow, and the last time I saw him, he was as Crow, and he continues to do that to great effect. He's really good at it, but he's also just been incredibly supportive and online defends me from various detractors, and it's just a nice kid and makes beautiful costumes that are pretty impressive. He's an actor. So that's really cool.
Kara, how about you?
Hey, sorry, you hear meowing? That's my cat Vixen. She's a little upset right now without her other cat Stella, so she's wandering around meowing, and trying to keep her calm. So you hear me out.
Sorry, Kara. I'm so sorry.
Poor kitty. And so I'd say one, gosh, the mental, I'd say there's one in particular that just kind of jumps to my mind right now anyway, but there's tons, you know, as y'all have said, especially the fan art and everything's really amazing. Speaking, I guess it's kind of fan art. There's someone had made me done a crochet of the Shni symbol, and then they had written, or not written, you know, sewn in the words of you know, Weiss, like, I will not, the Shni family legacy is not yours to leave, it's mine. I'll do it as a huntress. And I liked that a lot. My mom, I was going through it. I'll try to keep it short. My mom found it. Long story short, she made she framed it, and so it's like a really cool little piece in my house now. And I actually have it. I'll grab it in just a second. But anyway, I forgot, like, they didn't have like their name or anything like that attached to it, so I couldn't thank them. And then about a year later, I got a crochet thing from a fan, and I was like, oh, I actually got one last year that I have at my house. It turns out that was the girl from like the 2 years before, and she had just like, we had like a moment, and she like started crying, and I was like, you know, I have it, you know, at my, you know, I see it whenever I leave my house. You know, and I think it means a lot to her. Just to, I don't know, but I remembered it and I did that. So
Nice.
just simple little things like that always touch me, you know.
Indeed. I see we have a new panelist. Elizabeth, would you like to introduce us to our new guest?
This is Samson.
Hi, Samson.
He is the other love of my life.
Oh.
All cast pets are now canon in the show. I said it. It's fact. Okay. Next question.
Barbara.
Sorry, I'm muted. Let's see. It's really, I think, impossible to pinpoint one moment that meant the most, or that I think stands out the most in your mind, because there's so many incredible people that we get to meet at these conventions and kind of just all over the world. I think ultimately it's anybody who finds some type of joy or strength or power or just entertainment through the show we watch. We've had a number of people who said, like, this RWBY community is where they found belonging for the first time. And that kind of just means everything to us, to have a show that you're involved with bring happiness to anybody and belonging to someone. So just, yeah, more of a general answer for me.
Oh, that's totally fine. Jason Rose, bring us home.
I think I can think of two right off the bat. I've had a lot of things. Everyone said one first, but I don't want to give too much, you know, personal information. But there was a daughter and father at the last RTX after the big panel, and they were. It was kind of what she was echoing, just very emotional. It means a lot to them. Especially for the daughter. We took pictures and talked for a long time, and it was I don't know. I think it was a very uniquely special moment, especially for what they were going through. And the other time that was just more fun, throwaway, just cool factors. I was at an industry party in Century City, and as we're in this kind of like this, we're just in a circle group, and I hadn't talked yet. I was just drinking, listening to people. And the moment I started speaking, somebody clicked and looked at me and touched my shoulder, and he's like, "You're that general guy. I know who you are." I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
And he's like, "Yeah, I know who you are." And the conversation shifted to
That
RWBY,
general guy.
and yeah, and two of them actually watched it. Like they watched it with their kids. These big entertainment, and they want to know all the inside, you know, what I knew at this point. But it was just really cool to see, just as far as it's gone, and especially in the world of entertainment. I think it's cool that RWBY is so important in this way.
Very good, awesome. And Elizabeth, thank you. Great question. And what do we have next? And this comes from Pink Rose. In the RWBY universe, what semblance would you have for yourself?
I have an answer, and it's very silly, but
go right ahead.
Yeah, let her do it first. I didn't want to go first.
I was gonna wait. I was gonna popcorn this one.
This is very like early RWBY too, where she was a little bit more mischievous, and the Lindsay who likes pulling fun pranks on people. It would be, I've talked about how it'd be fun for me, or I've wanted to honestly control people's bowel movements. Like, you know, if you pissed me off, well, you pooped yourself.
See that coming.
There you go. You know, what are you gonna do? Or wouldn't it be funny if someone sneezed 12 times in a row while they were trying to talk to you? My semblance can do that.
I like it.
That's right.
Okay.
What y'all call that?
Yeah.
Maybe get out of quarantine before we start asking questions again.
Who's got another one?
Wait, I thought that we were supposed to choose a semblance from the RWBY universe.
No, I like that. I like
thought
this.
it was
This
like-
way's better. This way's better.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
This is the superpower thing. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's do
I know
that.
mine. I know mine.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Taylor, let us have it.
I would be a shapeshifter, like Mystique from the X-Men. Just and I turn into someone else. That's always been the superpower / semblance that I've wanted for myself.
Right on. Right on. Who's got another? Who's got another? I'll just call on you. Yeah, Barbara.
I don't have an answer, but I'm gonna vamp until I get one. You know what? I say that sometimes when we're asked this question, more about the RWBY universe itself, but I think I would take Yang's because I'm very clumsy, and if I could like get stronger every time I injure myself, that would be really convenient for me. So I would take Yang's. It works.
All right, fair. All right, we'll go around robin. Jason Rose, how about you? You got one?
You know, she says that Ironwoods wouldn't be bad because I could actually hyper focus and get all my work done, and like all the writing and stuff like that turned into the production office. So that would be, yeah, that'd be nice. But aside from that, power of flight, it's the ultimate dream. So yeah.
What is Ironwood's semblance? I've never figured that out.
A fan told me, like very specifically, it was like his ability to hyper focus on anything and uniquely get it done.
Okay.
I guess.
He's just obsessive.
He's obsessive compulsive. That's the,
Yeah.
that's the superpower.
That's a superpower in 2020.
Yeah.
Indeed. Aaron, you got one?
Can I talk to animals?
Of
I
course.
can do whatever I want. I can do
Yes.
whatever I want. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk to animals. That's what I
Eliza
want.
Thornberry.
I want to be real life Snow White or Liza Thornberry.
Thornberry.
Elijah Thornberry. Yeah.
The Wild Thornberry.
Yeah, I haven't seen that show in a long time.
It's been a long
That's a
time.
good one.
Yeah, but I'd like to talk to animals, because then I could live with my dogs and it would just be fine instead of not fun. I don't know. I'm doing really well over here, you guys.
Yeah, you're fine. Elizabeth, you got one?
Well, I like the idea of having Winter's actual semblance because it takes a lot to get me angry, but once I do get angry, I can be a little vengeful. So the idea of being able to summon and command my fallen enemies and make them work for me, that sounds really appealing.
I had never really thought of it that way. Like in real
How many
life.
fallen
Like,
enemies do
yeah.
you have?
Right.
What did you do?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
She seems really sweet, but
You should see my bedroom, lots of heads on stake.
yeah.
That could have gone in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Whole bookshelf of hex books is crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Jason, what you got?
I'm torn. You know, I always wanted to be able to control time, but I think more in the vein of this realm, I'd like to be, interestingly enough, crazily lucky. Like lucky to the point of I can't fail at anything, and I could put it on other people too.
So
So you could like extend it, like Ren
Yeah,
can.
So like the opposite of Crow. Yes, I would like that.
Yeah.
That works.
That's super OP. I love that. We all get that. Just a little bit.
For the whole world, always.
Hey, Kara, bring us home.
And then
Well, given just quickly off top of my head the situation today, I'd like to be able to like control technology with like by my thoughts. You know, that would be cool. Like
That would
turn
be
it on,
fun.
make everything work, and just do what you want just by looking at it.
Yeah,
Can
absolutely.
turn the
fair.
lights off without getting up from the couch.
Like anything you want. If you want to like turn on, like if you want your laptop like to turn on to whatever, or to be on, to join a chat, to be in a forum. You just look at it and it knows what you want to do.
You'll be a
Mind
great tech
control
support
over
person.
You should work in IT.
Yeah.
There's
Living
mind
in
control
Arizona.
over electronics because they're horrible. I don't know. I don't understand them, but I want to be able to control them somehow.
Crazy. Pink Rose, thank you. Great question. What do we have next? This is going to come from Cheyenne. Who's your favorite side character in RWBY?
I do have an answer for this.
Define side character really quick.
Yeah, that's
so we know.
Not the main four?
Anyone
Yeah.
besides Team RWBY or like?
Yeah, we'll say not to ruffle feathers of a band. We'll say besides the main four characters.
Because I don't want to make anybody feel like, oh, they're a side character.
Yeah.
Because I mean, technically, we're all side characters of like.
I love Neptune.
There are 4 characters in RWBY, so
And they're all side by side.
There you go.
I'm making. Sorry.
So, all right. So, who said they had one?
I did.
Okay, then Aaron, please start us off.
I don't know if everybody's frozen or not. Maybe it's just my computer. I love Neptune. I will always love Neptune. I have a little Neptune keychain hanging in my car right now. Neptune will forever be my favorite.
Absolutely fair. Lindsay, got one?
Yeah, actually. So Ciel Soleil is one of my favorites, and that's voiced by Issa Badiola, who works still at Rooster Teeth. She's done a lot of independent projects. You should totally go check out her work, and she is the sweetest person on the planet. So I love her, and she, is like partnered with my robot buddy. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. Fair.
Best friend of Penny. We got Penny back. I say bring Soleil back. No.
There you go. All right, Elizabeth, got one?
I have always loved Professor Oobleck. He just makes me laugh and smile every time he's on screen, and I love his voice.
Fair. Jason, how about you?
I mean,
I think it's just we've worked.
Probably
Oh wait,
expected.
you go.
Oh, right. Maybe it wasn't. Was it you? It could be you. I'm cool with that.
No. I insist. You go ahead.
Okay, that's very kind of you. You're pretty nice. Iron Scarecrow. Clover. I know that's expected, right? He humanized me. What am I going to say?
Yeah, fair. Absolutely fair. Kara, how about you?
This is
The
random.
story of a girl.
And I just had the whole world. I'm just kidding. Gosh, that threw me off there, and I.
Sorry.
No, actually, I was gonna say I think Klein actually, because I really think that it's cool how he's all the 7 dwarfs and his eyes change color according to what mood he's in, etc. Or not mood, which of the dwarfs he's freaking in. So that's always fun and cool. And I love the RWBY Chibi episode with him in it too, where everyone ate soup and it came out differently. It was cute. So Klein.
There you go. Barbara, you got one?
I have too many to choose from. I really like the villains. Like Salem and Tyrion are 2 of my favorite characters. Just like anytime they're on screen, something good is happening. So not something good for characters, but something entertaining is happening.
Good entertainment. There you go.
Yeah.
I got it.
Indeed. Okay. All right. Jason Rose, you're up.
I think I have to go with Winter Schnee. We're kind of simpatico. We're partners. I know. Right here.
Aww.
And character after my own heart. And I think they work so well together. I feel like I've known her for a long time, even though we're super far apart. But yeah, I have to go Winter.
Oh, you're making me feel guilty, Jason.
No.
I should have said that. Actually, I'm sorry.
You had your chance.
Oh man, you say
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I didn't think of her as a side character. To be fair, I thought of her as a main character. Because she's the main character, like in my life, you know what I mean? So
Can I say son?
True.
Just keep
That's solid save.
yeah, but thanks, Jason. Thanks.
Well, yeah, you got up and walked away.
I'm still in the band, dude. But
Taylor, bring us home.
So I don't know if Shopkeep would be a side character or if he's the most main character of all.
Yeah.
All of this.
Yes, he is the main character.
He's our Jar Jar, yes.
He's our cabbage merchant, and I love him.
For anyone who doesn't know the Jar Jar fan theory, go check it out.
Yeah.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'll never trust Jar Jar again.
Sorry, Taylor. I'm so sorry.
Cheyenne, thank you. That was a great question. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of RWBY. Panelists, any final words for our audience before we go?
From my side, there are a couple things. I not to bring down the mood a little bit, but it's incredibly important. Two things. One, I'm sure you guys might have seen on social media, Monty's brother Shivy has been a victim of a horrible incident, and his loved ones have set up a GoFundMe to help pay for some of his medical bills, and I would like to use my earnings here to do that. So if you can click the link directly, don't worry about GalaxyCon, but if you're already here and didn't know about it, and would like to purchase a session to help out, please. So yeah. And then two, obviously, call your senators, be politically active. We can't ignore what's happening right now. It's just, we don't have the luxury to do so, even if some of us clearly have the privilege. So, yeah.
No,
You're here.
Amen.
Yeah.
I've been calling Cruz weekly. Actually,
I think I've left him like 5 voicemails, but yeah.
Yeah. Does he get them? I don't know.
I don't think so. But
I'm sure it
I'll
does.
record them.
Well said, Lindsay. Well said.
Thanks.
And we are the United States of America. Remember, love your neighbor as yourself.
Be a good person, please.
Absolutely.
Educate yourself. Read.
Take care of yourself.
And not to self-promote, but if you're into it, Attack on Titan's final season, it premieres tonight on Toonami. I'm pretty excited about it. I might get to learn who the heck I am, for a change. Anyway.
Yeah.
What a long road that's been, huh? Ooh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. Well, Lindsay, what was that? It was a GoFundMe?
Spoilers for Attack on Titan, but yeah, but the GoFundMe page, I've actually tweeted about it. Monty's brother Neith, who now plays Ren and is fantastic, has also tweeted it. So
have I too. It's on my Twitter as well.
All right.
Too. And for everyone that knows, people have been asking a lot of questions, like what the whole situation and whatnot. It's on the GoFundMe page, so read that. This car was, someone tried to steal his car. It turned out, pretty terrible, but I'll get into it. So yeah, there you go.
Very
sad, and please, just all the help and support, because he is so awesome. He is the sweetest person ever.
He is. We've had one here before, and absolute gentleman. And just as it's been delightful to host you all here once again. I know it's been a crazy year, and I know it's been off to a rough start. But again, I have hope that we're going to get through this as a people and as a nation. And again, I certainly hope that maybe by the end of the year we'll get you back on our stages, back in front of your fans. And Taylor, definitely looking to get you into this wonderful system we have here.
That would be so much fun.
I fear close quarters, but let's get a RWBY bus. Everyone on the RWBY bus once we can. Everyone on the RWBY bus. Our family this.
RWBY bus.
Spend next summer following RWBY, man. It's going to be great. Gentlemen and ladies, it's been my absolute pleasure to serve you all today. Once again, thank you for joining us at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you to our audience for joining us today, and thank you for all your great questions. Until then, everyone, bye-bye, take care, and please keep washing those hands.